All right. Well, before we get to that, let me jump to my official blog post for this episode. Every episode, I make a new blog post so we can organize our topics. But this is the farewell episode. Again, we will be back as soon as we can. But there's an announcement first before we get to our WrestleMania reviews. This is a text message relayed from Vlad, the wrestling expert, on Twitter. Let me see if my Twitter actually works. See, I relayed your text message on X. So.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh,
Vlad,
yes. Oh, that
Vlad,
one. Yes.
Yes. Vlad, this was sent to me yesterday. I am making an announcement effective immediately. I will not be watching AEW shows and won't be reviewing them. If something interesting happens and I hear about it, I'll give it a peek. But for now, I'm closing the book on the AEW experiment for me. Vlad, the wrestling expert, via text message. All right. So, yes, Vlad, you're done with AEW. We're going on a hiatus. This is a good point for us to, kind of take a break in our wrestling life. We got to have real lives too. But you've been submitting your reviews on AEW Dynamite with Robert since October. It's been about 6 months, I guess. And then before that, we were still reviewing the shows on podcasts for another year before that, year plus. And you're closing the book on it, so that's it. You're giving up.
And I pretty much have watched, I would say almost every episode since its debut. I mean, here and there, obviously I skipped around some, I can't watch, especially AEW, I can't watch the whole way through. But I think
you did, though. You watched every Dynamite, which is all that matters, really. You basically watched every Dynamite.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I watched every Dynamite since its debut. So, yeah, but I think I've had enough. I think I've had my fill. And it's just not my type of wrestling. I've kind of given up on it changing. I am curious about a few people there and what happens to them, specifically MJF. But other than that, I think I don't really want to waste 2 hours every week of my life watching it, for one, and then having to think about it, and then also discussing it as well. So, yeah, I mean, if something cool happens, if you guys see something cool, you could always let me know about it. I'll give it a look, like I said. But as far as watching it, I think I'm.
But yeah, they failed us. They failed us. They did not give us what we wanted, and now that's it. The story's over. This is what it is. So, Robert, do you agree with Vlad that you don't enjoy AEW? Are you sticking with AEW, or what's your deal with AEW? Because
it's funny because he made the announcement that he stopped watching AEW, or he's going to stop watching AEW. But I haven't watched any AEW for the past few weeks, and I haven't posted anything about AEW in the past few weeks. But that wasn't that wasn't planned. It just kind of worked out that way. I don't know. There's been a lot going on.
You got busy.
I got busy. The NBA playoffs and then other TV shows I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
So I just didn't.
You didn't have a breakup. It just kind of got beaten out by other shows and stuff.
Exactly, but that doesn't mean I didn't plan that to happen. I do plan on probably watching next week's episode. I'm not sure. We'll see how. Oh, actually, hold on. Wednesday is Game 5 of the Laker game. Never mind. Probably not. So I don't know. So it depends. Again, really, it's more. Depending on the circumstance. But yeah, I haven't watched or reviewed AEW for maybe 2 or 3 weeks now. But it's not something that I plan on continuing to do, to just stop watching. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so little has been happening. Really, you could just jump back in and, a couple of explanations of a couple sentences will catch you up. And, you're right, Vlad. If it does ever pick up again, you could just start watching. Like, if it gets really good, if I'm like, Vlad, this is great, you got to watch this, then if it's good wrestling, if it's what you want, I'm sure you're not going to, deny watching it because it's AEW. You just don't like it. If it was something good, you would watch it.
I don't like it in its current form. And I would say for Robert, who's saying he hasn't watched it in a couple weeks and stuff like that, that makes sense. But I think if it was actually any good, he would try to find a time to watch it. We watch stuff that we want to watch and things that are good. We find time for it. We find time for good TV shows and sports that we care about. If we cared about the product enough, we would watch it. And in this case, I've just stopped caring. I just don't care about any of these people and what happens to them. Good luck to all of them. But
Yeah.
wish them happiness and success and good health. But
unfortunately, Tony Khan just kind of it's all right. It's not an awful show. Like, it's something. There's some entertainment in there.
Sometimes it's a really awful show, I would argue.
Sometimes it is. I mean, like I would say it's just very overbooked, and he makes things very complicated for things that really shouldn't be complicated. Like, if it's really top guys and you want to make some intricate storyline with like Cody and CM Punk, and all right, people are going to pay attention because it's those guys. But when you make a storyline that's all confusing and complicated, and all these relationships between the Young Bucks and Swerve Strickland and freaking Ops and Hook and Katsuyori Shibata, like, nobody cares about all these people enough to follow all these complicated, intricate storylines that deeply. Like, he's trying too hard. I think he should just simplify it and concentrate on like just basic wrestling feuds, like what WrestleMania does. You know what I mean? They just had single feuds, like this guy's feuding with this guy, this tag team. At this point in the show, the thing I would criticize about it right now, the thing that drove me mad watching it last week, is just like, yeah, dude, I'm really trying to follow your show here. I'm really giving it my best to follow this storyline, and I'm even writing it down and taking notes and and it's still really too fucking hard to follow. So I'm sure people just get lost in it and nothing really registers. And
just to a quick point, that's not really. I mean, yeah, that is a problem, I would say, probably for some people. But my biggest problem is just not my type of wrestling. Like, their mindset is more of just like putting on bangers, which they consider bangers, but I don't. So I think
high flyers.
That is the core of the company. Like, they just want every match has to be 5 stars, but it's not really realistic in wrestling for that to happen, or should it even be happening? And most of these matches are what they consider 5 stars. I don't consider 5 stars. I don't consider somebody flying around the ring and kicking out of everything a 5-star match. And that's really where they lose me. They lose me in the type of wrestling that they and the type of wrestling fans they appeal to. I'm just not one of them, and I've just realized that throughout the years. And so why am I going to continue to watch something that I'm not enjoying? At the end of the day, that's kind of the decision I made. So I'll leave it at that.
All right, I got it. Okay, before we say our goodbyes to the YouTube universe for a while, my honorable mentions for the week, obviously Rusev returning to WWE.
Very
Rusev
cool.
Day. Miro. I kind of wanted him to be Miro, the Redeemer, but okay, he's Rusev.
Yeah. He's no longer feuding with God and not talking about his hot, flexible wife.
Yeah, forget about that wife, man. Get another wife. In a similar vein, Malachi.
Okay, go
Malachi Black, aka I guess now Aleister Black, has also returned to WWE in a great segment with Miz. Miz was venting about not being on WrestleMania, and then Aleister Black came and kicked him in the face. Fucking hilarious. I love wrestling, man. I don't know. I like Vlad. I can't get enough of it. I think it's so fucking good. But okay. We had our discussion about AEW falling, their downfall recently, and so here are 2 guys from AEW, and they're headed back to WWE because nobody wants to be in AEW right now, I guess. So, also,
some people probably do, but
rest in peace, Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, Mongo,
who we've covered on the show on our WCW 1996 reviews. He's been on a few of our segments, so we've seen him on this show before. So. He's related to our show. Maybe I'll put him in the Malapert Smark Hall of Fame one day. We'll see. He's a candidate. Steve Mongo McMichael. I remember him from when I was a kid. Too bad.
Yeah, Mongo was cool.
You remember this guy Crowbar in WCW, Vlad?
Did he die too?
No, he just had a match on Ring of Honor Thursday.
Oh my god!
Wow.
This guy looks. Okay, let me tell you, WCW. This is a guy that I thought would have surely died.
Dude, I was not expecting, because today I was like catching up on wrestling that I haven't watched, so I watched Ring of Honor from last Thursday. And this guy, I'm like, is that Crowbar from WCW? And it is. Like, what the fuck?
Did he not also wrestle in TNA? Well, you probably would know. Or maybe, I don't know. Did he not wrestle in TNA as well?
Probably. Yeah, in the early days. Yes.
Early days,
yes.